The simplest method of producing electric light is that used in the ordinary filament lamp. This depends for its working on the fact that an electric current in a resistance wire will heat it up. As a substance is heated up, a point is at last reached when it glows with a visible light. A poker which has been put in the fire can be made to glow with a bright red light. If the temperature is made higher still, the glow becomes brighter. In steelworks, temperatures of more than 1,000 degrees centigrade are common. The steel is white hot. That is, it glows with a brilliant white light. Temperatures more than twice as high as this must be produced inside an electric lamp. To do this, the electric current is passed through a very fine wire, or filament as it's called, and in so doing heats it up in just the same way as the resistor of an electric fire. But because the filament in the lamp is so small and fine, it can easily be brought up to white heat. In the factories where electric lamps are made, elaborate machines are used to produce these hair-like wires. The filaments have to be made of a special metal, usually tungsten, which does not melt at white heat and therefore allows the filament to stay whole. If a current is passed through a filament in the open air, the metal combines with the oxygen in the air. In fact, the filament burns and is broken. To prevent this, it has to be enclosed in a glass bulb, which shields it from the oxygen. With the lower-powered lamps, the air is often merely pumped out of the bulb so that the filament glows in a vacuum. Nowadays, lamp bulbs are usually filled with an inert gas called argon, which will not combine with the metal in the filament, however high the temperature. It is put there for a special reason. This drawing represents a piece of lamp filament. When it's white hot, its atoms are vibrating so rapidly that some of those at the surface fly right off into space. If there is a vacuum, there's nothing to stop them. They will strike the walls of the bulb and make this black deposit so that the lamp gives out less light. Meanwhile, the filament itself is almost literally being boiled away and will eventually break. But in a gas-filled bulb, the atoms of argon gas make a sort of buffer for the tungsten atoms. Almost as soon as they leave the filament, they will strike argon atoms and may be thrown back onto the filament, which therefore will not be destroyed so quickly even at a higher temperature. Those which do not return will be carried upwards by the gas onto the glass of the bulb. You can see that what blackening there is all at one place, and less light is lost than with a vacuum lamp. You will notice that the filament in the gas-filled bulb on the left takes a different form from that in the vacuum bulb. This is made necessary by the cooling action of the gas. Here is a filament for a vacuum lamp which has been purposely put into a gas-filled bulb. You can see that the heating is uneven and the light given off is much dimmer. This is because the gas circulates and carries some of the heat away. So the filaments of modern lamps are usually coiled to cut down this effect. A coiled filament is more compact and loses heat less easily. Even the resistor of a fire is usually coiled. Its glow will die away if it's pulled out and exposes a great... It is still giving off just as much heat, but it is cooled more when it is stretched out. Only when it is closely coiled can it build up such a high temperature. With an electric lamp, this is even more important, and sometimes the filament, as this greatly enlarged view shows, is not only coiled once, but this coil is coiled again to make the whole as compact as possible. Electric lamps are made in a large variety of types, sometimes with clear glass, sometimes internally frosted to give a diffused soft light. It's important to choose the right size and kind of lamp to give the light you need.